So, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Turn 5 podcast. Just the three of us this week. Myself, Ben, and Nia will be reviewing all of the action from the Las Vegas Grand Prix. I won't call it the inaugural Las Vegas Grand Prix because we've been there before, but it's the first on the new circuit, which cost like $500 million.
Too much.
Yes. I mean, first things first, let's get the quick reviews out of the way. Nia, thoughts?
There's
In English, please.
there was a bit more action I was expecting, but it still wasn't. Yeah.
Ben.
It's like the opposite of the stock graph meme when there's like the flat line and then it goes down. It's like the flat line and it goes up.
Stonks? Are we trying to call it stonks?
Yeah, did you see it? It's on like the sky thing.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked at any of that lot. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I'm not going to lie. The race didn't actually seem that bad, but everything around it seemed very cringe.
I think if the circuit was somewhere else with not as much show,
Glitz and glamour.
it might be okay. Yeah, it might be okay. But with all the glitz, glamour, and the start of the Grand Prix.
Yes, let's have a race when it's almost freezing.
Let's do free practice at 2 a.m.
With
no fans.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, we'll get on to
Friday
that.
Friday was so funny. It must have been like the great, but not for the people. The people there is probably the worst possible Friday you could ever go to.
Yeah, I mean, let's just talk about it. Sod it. The fact that the fans were not allowed in the grandstands for FP2 when having seen 8 minutes of FP1.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the reason why they weren't allowed to was because of the security staff going home. Joke. What's more of a joke is what they were offered as compensation, which was like a $200 voucher to the F1 shop.
Yep.
So it's like, sorry you didn't see anything. Here's a voucher to our own stuff.
So maybe 2 to 4 pieces of merch.
I looked at the prices, and it's like a shirt and a hat, and that is it. That is what you can afford for $200 from their shop. And that's like absolute maximizing it if you pick a $110 jersey and a $90 hat.
That's like the minimum, like, smallest items, really.
Yeah, you have like the shirts you can only get one of because they're all over 100. And then you're just left with, well, I can get a hat for 90. So I might as well get the $100 10 shirt. You're like, what? Yeah. It's like, sorry you didn't see anything. Spend some more money to get 2 shirts. Because realistically, if you're getting 2 shirts, you're probably putting $20-30 of your own money in.
Mm.
But like, I'd rather watch the cars go round than...
I'd rather use a ticket I paid for.
Yeah, than have 2 shirts.
Yeah.
For an event I didn't see any of. Bit of it. Yeah, and then Toto saying that it wasn't a kick in the teeth for Las Vegas, like after FP1. Now, I can understand it from the perspective of we've had this situation happen before at circuits like Monaco and Baku, where FP1 has been truncated and suspended and FP2 has been delayed. What we haven't had is that happen at the first instance of the race being run. That's why it's a kick in the teeth for Formula One, because it's the first time we've run this circuit. We lasted 8 minutes. We got given the most ridiculous penalty for Carlos Sainz, which we will come on to. And then FP2 was delayed by like 2.5 hours, and the fans weren't allowed to watch. That is why
But
it
with-
is a kick in the teeth
with
for
the-
F1.
With the other two as well, they didn't put the what are they called?
Drain covers.
Trains.
No, the practice and all that.
Oh.
They didn't put them at stupid hours that run from midnight to 2 a.m. or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's at
They're-
normal
Yeah,
times.
and they were still going.
Catering to European audiences. I'd rather the drivers cater to their audiences and we adapt so
Yeah.
they can survive.
We could quite easily just get over the race being at 4 a.m. instead of 6 a.m.
Yeah,
and
like
have it
we
like 10 p.m. over there.
Yeah.
Whatever, cool.
we do it for
Like-
Japan. Like
Well,
Japan's
it's not
6
even
a.m.
that.
for
Japan's
us.
the same
And-
time, isn't it?
Yeah, Japan's 6 a.m. for us, and they have it during the day. I think was it?
Yeah, because they're in front.
Yeah, but I don't want a race at midnight where the drivers are suffering from jet lag as well. So
But you can imagine just living there. It's 3 a.m. here. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Like people do still have to work there. Like they
Yeah, what the bloody hell's going on?
the road was supposed to open again at 6 a.m. so people could drive to work. It was open at 4 a.m. so people could drive to work. It opened at 6 a.m. so people were late to work, which another thing that was not great.
I mean, yeah. But at the same time, the workplaces would probably be like, You'd
Yeah,
like to
but
think that
it's
they'd
still-
be understanding of the fact that Formula One kind of screwed them over.
It's America.
This is true. This is
Yeah.
true. The land of the Bezos bucks. How many Amazon employees were fired this weekend? That'll be the fun stat, won't it? But no, right. So the red flag and the session suspension and everything was brought out by Carlos Sainz running over a loose, what was it, a water drain? A water
Yeah, drain.
main pipe thing. It was
Water drink, I think
the-
it was.
concrete surrounding the drain itself failed, which is hilarious, which resulted in the drain cover being flung up into the underside of the Ferrari, causing extreme damage, and immediately on Carlos Sainz's steering wheel bringing out the "stop the car" message. What I find most ridiculous about it, besides the fan treatment, is the fact that Ferrari were denied financial compensation and were also denied dispensation on power unit usage and other component
Because
usage.
it was against the regulations.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter that it is the circuit's fault, which I think is wrong, and I'm pretty sure Baku circuit had to pay for George's Williams damage. I don't know about power unit issues because we were so early on in the season that there was probably enough in the pool anyway for him to take stuff and not be penalised. But at the same time, I'm pretty confident that the circuit had to pay for the damages to the Williams car because it was a circuit issue. So the fact that Ferrari have been denied that in the cost cap era is a bit of a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, it's quite interesting seeing as that they made rules up in the past as well, and now they can't
Have their own rules
Sh-
enforced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
surely this should be like an exceptional circumstance.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It was nothing to do with Ferrari or Carlos. Completely the circuit's fault. That's why.
Well,
Why?
he shouldn't have run over that train.
Yeah, he shouldn't have gone on that bit of road.
Yeah, it's the wrong line.
So yeah, no, that was ridiculous.
Wild.
Almost as ridiculous as the race start, but there we go.
Yeah. Oh, there's a thing on Thursday as well, when they had all the drivers on their own little podiums and they just
Oh, yeah.
rise.
Oh my god.
It was mental.
Mm.
Yeah, that was another of the cringe fest moments. Let's introduce all of the drivers. It's not like we don't know who they are already, but like, and they still had the driver parade on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like,
that brought out one of the best moments of this year.
Oh no! Do not bring up the Will I Am
You've seen
song.
it?
No, I haven't.
No.
No.
Have you seen the Bruce Buffer?
With Perez.
He's the
the announcer.
Announcer for the UFC.
Yeah.
Anyways, goes, it's time. So F1 have got him for Vegas to announce all the drivers. So Perez walks up to him as he announces Perez's name. I feel like Perez thinks
he's about
to be interviewed. So Bruce just announces his name and that's it, because that's all he has to do. Perez has stood there like, are you going to ask me? He looks at the camera. It's like, what's going on? And then he just like, it's so awkward for about 5 seconds. They both just stood there. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
He's getting his camera time, mate.
Like, it's such a David Brent moment. It's insane. It's so good.
That's a UK office reference for those of our friends in America.
What's the US office one?
Jim.
Michael Scott.
Oh, is he boss? Then yeah, Michael.
Yeah.
I was thinking, who looks to camera? Jim. Jim's the camera operator going like, oh, what's going on?
It's so good. I find it.
Yeah, so we had all of the glitz, the glam, the social media was rife with funny things and whatever. I mean, there was a lot of hype going into it, and qualifying was not bad, depending on who you support.
It was very bad.
It was awful for all of us here. F's in chat. The race was not much better. Thanks. We'll do that later. Yeah, I mean, Ferrari won too, but Carlos power unit thing. So
yeah, that threw in that, didn't it?
Leclerc Verstappen front row once again. And then we had the race. And we had the race start.
Yeah, quali was weird, and it was just how good could you get the tires? Because you had like Williams in Alpha, like jump from 14th to be like P4. You're like, what on?
Logan Sargent P4. Things I never thought I'd see.
Yeah,
and then it's just like
found out what a kilometer was.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I heard one of the commentators say that this is now like the second longest track on the calendar. Is it longer than Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, the time's longer.
6.174 kilometers. 6.201. It is longer. So yes, Saudi Arabia kept its second longest track on the calendar for a whole 1 year. And then Vegas said, not today, son. There was a lot of overtakes in the race, but I feel like there was a lot of DRS, slipstream overtakes.
Yeah,
the good ones were where people came from like a mile back and then dive bombed into corners.
Just Charles Leclerc's team moves on like Perez. And that's it.
Well, I mean, Verstappen on Russell would have been a good move had Russell actually looked in his mirror.
Well, Verstappen turned in on him.
Oh yeah, clearly left him no room, even though he's all over the inside curb. Like seriously, the Mercedes fans on Twitter and Instagram are delusional, I think is the right word, because they just see what they want to see. And they're like, oh, he's left him no room. Where's George supposed to go? And it's like you're watching Max's onboard and Max is over the inside curb. And it's like, really? George just didn't look in his mirror and just went, yeah. I think the funniest comment on that one was just the Family Guy quote of, I turn now, good luck everybody else. because that kind of surmises George Russell up sometimes, doesn't it? We've had that a few times in his F1 career. Not a great look. Yikes. What else do we have? I mean, okay, let's deal with turn 1. Max was rightly given a penalty.
Yeah, what I feel is probably unpopular, but I feel like him and Charles, unless Charles purposely avoids the turning because of Max on the inside, neither of them are making that corner.
He's definitely avoiding contact at points because he tries to turn in and then opens the steering out more because like, Max is still there, and it's like, okay.
But it still feels like both of them are about 50 meters away from the apex.
Yeah. I'm surprised they weren't actually overtaken on exit.
Yeah.
But we shall see. I mean, and then Martin Brundle saying that 5 seconds wasn't harsh enough after Max has like scampered off 2 seconds down the road. And it's like, no, you're looking at the aftermath of the incident and not the incident itself. Any other time that incident happens, it's a 5-second penalty. So just because Max has now buggered off 2 seconds down the road because it took the stewards that long to do anything about it, doesn't mean it deserves more than a 5-second penalty.
They've got a party.
Yeah, they were probably still getting back from the casino, weren't
they? They're still sorting out Friday. Yeah, I don't. It would. I feel like it could be better if they made the driver give the position back and just get rid of the 5-second rule, because it does feel like, especially when you have a person from the top teams in the mid pack illegally overtake someone, they can just take the 5-second penalty.
It works all well and good until somebody like clips a front wing or something and that person decides to take a pit stop. And it's like, yeah, give the position back. They're now 18th.
Yeah, come, bugger off.
Just let everyone through.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think there is a place for the 5-second penalty, but I would rather see in that situation where nobody's got any damage, I would rather see the position returned.
Yeah, I think it's very circumstantial. If possible,
return.
Give position back.
If not, penalty.
5 seconds.
Have time.
Then it should be up to the FI to be like, hey, give the position back.
Yeah. Like they used to tell them.
Penalty. Give the position back or you'll be disqualified. And then they give it back.
Yeah. I mean, that is the extreme end of the stick, but, you know, it would work.
Well, yeah, exactly. It works, doesn't it?
So.
I don't want to say, up the penalty to 10 seconds or whatever, because then
it'll just be extremely harsh on the really minor incidents. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we already call 5 seconds quite harsh. And then often we say it's not harsh enough, and sometimes we're like, yeah, that's about right. It's really weird in terms of just, it's hard to gauge what would and wouldn't be appropriate. Because we're so restricted in terms of the time penalties we give out. Like other racing series, it's like, yeah, just add a second on. Add 2 seconds on. Add 6 seconds on. Like, why can't we just, why don't we have more intervals? Why is it 5-10 disqualification?
Like
5-10 drive through and stop goes.
Like on the game, they've got 3-second penalties.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Corner cutting.
So, it's weird. When the game has more options than real life, you know, it's interesting. Okay, so what else happens? We had Max pushing Charles wide, then we had Alonso sort of dive bomb and then spin.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like it was going to be a great move, and then I think just locked the rear axle and went, nope.
Well, it's very much how the corner is at the first turn in Vegas, because it seems really open, but it just isn't.
Pinches back on
So you've seen Alonso dive on the inside, and it's like the apex is there, and Alonso's like here going in a straight line. You're like, oh.
It's one of those, because it's technically turn 1 and 2. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's a double apex corner, and it's like you can kind of get away with the line Alonso was taking if you then pinch back on two, but he just lost it and dropped it in the middle, and then Perez was just like, a car. Who else dropped it at the back? There was another one that spun. Bottas, yeah. And it was kind of like, and then Carlos Sainz got caught up in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, bit of carnage at the start, which brought out the VSC for debris cleanup, which is fair enough. There was a few bits of front wing.
I want to know how many drivers actually hit the apex of turn one.
No one. I don't think anyone did.
Yeah.
And then we had clean running for 3 laps, and then Lando Norris crashed in quite spectacular fashion. It is good to say that he's okay. He's been discharged. He was discharged on the day, I think.
Yeah.
He just went for more checks because obviously high G-force impact, regulations, checks, all good.
Yeah, I think he went to like a local hospital,
University
to get more
Medical Centre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird because there's like a GP where I am that's called University Medical Centre. So it's kind of like, oh, hey, I know that place. No, I don't know that place.
He managed to get back to England in
I know.
that short amount of time.
Man's rapid. They've dusted off the Concorde and said, get him home. But yeah, no, so it's good to see that he's okay even after a big crash. It just looked like it was a bumpy section and the car just stepped out on him.
Yeah, you could see the bump in the road as Lando drives over it. He just gets the car and then
just because it's coming up to the braking zone, it's bump, car steps out, and then by the time you're trying to correct it and apply the brakes, then it's just he's tapped the wall and he's met the barrier. Obviously, all the safety barriers doing their job at the end there, but I think it was the sort of the side impact at first because that was pretty much concrete wall. That was the hefty bit of it, but angle of it wasn't terrible. It's not like he went in at a 90-degree angle. He glanced across it, so could have been worse, but safety features doing their jobs. Good. So he'll be in Abu Dhabi for this weekend's race. So that brought out the full safety car, understandably. Then we had a bunch of people making use of that, even though it was only lap 4. We still had a bunch of pit stops being made. I think Perez and Sainz were a couple of the ones that made the most of that. Was it Perez or was it Stroll? I don't know. Some of the guys at the back of the field anyway sort of made the most of it.
Yeah, Perez and Sainz.
So, then we got going again. Then they decided to give Max his penalty. Then Max decided his tyres weren't really good, just as Charles overtook him, so he pitted. I mean, we had like 3 race leaders this race, so that was, probably one of the highest we've had this season.
It's
got to be up there. Normally it's Max Verstappen.
There's been 2 on a couple of occasions.
Yeah. When Max hasn't started on pole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Or when somebody else has led for a lap while Max has made his pit stop.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. So, are you still counting race leaders, or?
No, I've worked something out.
Oh.
I've got
dear.
the amount of drivers who hit the apex at Turn 1 in Vegas. Now, the first question is, out of the 20, how many do you think hit it?
I mean, none, realistically.
So that's wrong.
Oh, is there 1?
There's more than 1.
Oh my god.
2.
No.
4.
3.
No. It's in between both of them.
What, 3?
There's no, because you said 4 and you said 8.
Oh. I thought Nia said 3.
That's a 3.
6.
The 6 drivers. And to be fair, the 2 Williams are very unlucky not to count as well. But they're quite in the middle. They had to avoid a little bit.
Right, okay, fair enough.
Okay.
So just to get both Hatters are the 2 of the 6 who hit the apex. So of the other 4, who do you think they are?
Oh god. Well, it's not Max.
They're at the back of the grid as well.
Okay, so the McLarens.
One of the McLarens.
Oscar.
Yes.
Who else is at the back? Lance.
Yes.
Ocon?
Yes. And that's the 6.
Wait.
There's Piastri,
Wait.
Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Stroll, and Ocon.
I think we did quite well there. We made 3 guesses
20 drivers.
and we nailed it. Wow, 6 at the apex. That's good. I mean, that just shows you how cold everything was. Because I mean, they were doing like 2 warm-up laps for the tires in quali, and then you have one formation lap.
Yeah,
it's not going to end well. And they're not on the softs like they were in quali.
They could easily add a rule be like 2 formation laps if the track temp's under 20 degrees or whatever.
Tire blankets for track temperatures under.
Yeah, but then didn't they scrap them for a reason though?
They're just trying to save energy.
Yeah, so then.
But track temps under like, it's not going to happen often, is it?
If they're saving for energy, it's just better to do 2 formation laps.
True. I mean, either works really. So.
But it caused carnage, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. We love a little bit of carnage. What else do we have? Oh yeah, George got his 5-second penalty for causing a collision. Rightly so. Man just slammed that door shut. I mean, he opened. I mean, okay, the team radio when it happened, not great, George. Afterwards, then admitting he was wrong and didn't actually look in his mirrors. There's more of the issue. Did a Lance Stroll there, not checking his mirrors.
Learning from the best.
Oh yes. He wants that Aston Martin seat.
Yeah, 2 P5s in a row. Insane.
I mean, what was George? George was P4 on the road and then got dumped down to P8 because of the penalty, which was ridiculous that the rest of the 4 finished that close together.
Yeah.
But I mean, it shows you how hard it was to pull away with the DRS power and the slipstream. Because nobody really got away from anyone.
There's 2 massive long straights and
a couple of corners.
Yeah.
And the sphere.
Yeah, they also isn't it true that they said F1 bans the colours red, blue, and all of that?
Yeah, and then put the Google Chrome logo on it.
Yeah,
it's a logo. It's fine.
Yeah,
and wait, no. If they banned blue, then why is Paramount on there? Because I've seen that as well.
What colours did they? Red, blue, and yellow, was it?
Yeah, I feel like it was someone taking the mick.
It's got to be because we've had Google Chrome, which has all 3 of those colours in. B, we've had Paramount, in which the whole sphere was lit up blue with some white text on it, and like all of the other things.
And the sphere itself with the face is yellow. They did put a helmet on it during the race, but it's still yellow. Although it could have been just throughout the race, they didn't put bright stuff.
No, because the clips I've seen, even in the highlights, you can see it in the background, it's still got Paramount pictures, like for Paramount Plus advert on it. So it's like, what's going on?
I do love the face though, watching following the cars going round, and then just occasionally being like, But
well, I mean, the sphere was a talking point for everyone pretty much except the drivers. I don't think they were that bothered by it.
It's a sphere, isn't it? Right, it's cool.
It's a big ball that cost like what,
Too much.
$2.3 billion
Just for it to sit there.
just for it to be a giant emoji.
Yeah.
Bit
Cool.
embarrassing, really.
Apparently, London's going to get a smaller one.
Oh, for God's sake.
In it. Anyway,
Probably have to pay to look at it.
probably. Right, let's go over the results of our prediction, shall we? And then we can move away from Las Vegas for this year, which
Yes,
admittedly
please.
was not as bad as we feared. Okay, so podium predictions. We had a belter of a weekend this week. Ben came in last place with 2 points, and everybody else tied with 3. The only points anyone scored from the 3-point scorers were Max Verstappen to win the race. That was it. Nobody else got anything right. Ben got his 2 points for saying Verstappen second and Leclerc third.
Yeah, well done, Perez. Defend the inside, mate. Defend the inside. It's obvious.
It takes our season totals. Chris is on 82, Sonia is on 87, Nia 1 ahead on 88, Ben just ahead on 91, and me just out in front on 96. 5-point gap last round. All to play for.
Big.
One big weekend this week, and it's all over.
How's it come down to the most boring weekend?
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that like it's not possible for things to change, but Sonia got a perfect weekend at Kota, so yeah. Right. Anyway, lap down showdown. Nobody got lapped because of a mid-race safety car, so no points there. Bold predictions. Ben, best/worst race of the year. Well, you said it had to be clear cut, and I think we can debate that it was not the best, but it certainly was not the worst. But no points there for you. Chris said no pit exit incidents. I didn't see any.
No, I didn't see any.
So we'll give
There
him
was
that.
an incident around the pit exit.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but that's not what he meant. Yeah, that's not quite what he meant. Nia, Avon's prediction of Hamilton retiring from the race has not come true, so Avon does not get any points this week.
It was close, to be fair. He got a puncher.
It's true.
Yeah.
My prediction was phenomenal. Both McLarens and both Aston Martins, top 8. After qualifying, I was not hopeful. After lap 4, I was in the bin.
There's only one McLaren or Aston Martin that was in the top 8.
And it was the one that I said that I had to lower it to 8 for.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lance. Right, that's all of those predictions done. This week we return to the season finale that is totally not a snooze fest of Abu Dhabi.
Wow. You would have thought that we'd be like really excited considering it's the final race week of the year.
Well,
like, just get it over with.
P1 and 2 in the championship are sealed. The constructors is sealed. There's not a lot left to race for.
We don't even need the race. We know Max is going to win. We don't need the race.
Yeah, just give him the trophy.
Mm.
Right. Predictions. Pole position.
Max.
Cool. Ben.
Norris.
Has someone got Chris's up? Because I can't.
Yeah, I'll get him now.
Thanks.
He said Max, if you
Cool.
really want to know.
Thank you. And I will say Max as well. And Sonia said Max. Podium, Ben?
In third place, Piastri.
Okay.
In second place, Norris. In first place, Verstappen.
What? No, I'm sorry. Hang on. Run it back. Insert clip from last week. I'm predicting Norris to win every race until the end of the season. What happened there, son?
That might just likely want to try and win.
Ah, I see. So you took the coward's way out. Nice.
Well, I'll put Norris to win then.
No, it's too late. It's in the book.
If you want to get your high horse, be like, oh, you go against your word.
Yeah, no, it's too late. It's written down.
Call me a Tory MP.
Making more U-turns than a Conservative government. Jesus. Right. Nia, what were Chris's? No, we've killed Nia. Okay.
Don't know what I was expecting you to say, but it really was not that. You said Max, Checo, Leclerc.
Verperlec. So this weekend's podium, but in a slightly different order. I will say Verstappen, Norris, Perez. Nia?
And go with Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris.
Verstappen. Norris. Okay, bold predictions. What's Chris's?
One safety car only.
Okay. Nia?
Come back to me.
Shock. Ben?
Yeah.
Logan Sargent to get a contract extension between now and the next recording.
I've already written that one down, so I don't need to.
Take your time, yeah. Take your time.
I will say Logan Sargent points. Nia?
Both Alfa Romeos in the points, why not?
Okay.
Christ.
Lapdown Showdown. There are 58 laps of the Abu Snoozefest Grand Prix. Who's getting lapped first?
I'll just say Chris's now.
Cool.
Sargent, 28, 1 lap.
Okay. Ben, I know you've already got yours. Give Nia some chance to
Sargent.
think. Sargent.
I know my Lapdown Showdown, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
If Nia's going with her usual, I'll go 26 and 2.
Let me guess. Sargent 25 2.
Sargent 25, 1.
Ooh! Sargent 25 1.
He picks up the pace.
I am going to say... What did I say last week? That was completely wrong because they were actually quite rapid. I said Kevin Magnussen last week. I'm going to say Danny Ricciardo, lap 3, 1 lap down. It's going to be a bit of a kerfuffle somewhere on the first lap. It's going to pick up a bit of front wing damage. And then he's going to have to like limp it home. And then by that time, everyone else has like already done a lap, so... It's like...
With just front wing damage.
Okay, maybe he gets a puncture as well. Maybe the front wing's stuck under his car and he can't go that fast.
But he's just flying around the track.
Yeah. Yes, that'll about do us for this week, I think. Was there any news? I mean, the Braun GP documentary came out. I've watched one episode. You guys have watched it all.
And it's brilliant.
It is very good.
It is a lot.
What I find really funny is the fact that Christian Horner used the same line in it as that he used in Drive to Survive of the best way to become unpopular is to start winning. He's definitely said that in both.
Oh yeah.
But it is a lot better than Drive to Survive. But I feel like they have the ability to do that because it's historical events rather than current.
yeah, they have a story to tell.
Yeah.
Whereas with
Yeah.
Drive to Survive,
You're trying to construct a narrative.
they're making narratives as they're going along, but before they start, they have to think of a narrative anyway, because they have to decide where they're going to film. So they have to have some narratives already done with pre-season. So it's not like Bourne had a story, knew the complete story, and got everyone to help tell it.
Yeah.
Drive to Survive, not everyone wants to help tell all the stories. They can't get all the stories because they weren't in a particular place. And it's just becoming a bit of a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes this season. I haven't even like heard anyone talking about where the Netflix boys have been in the paddock this week or whatever.
What stories are they gonna tell?
Yeah.
Max dominance. It's gonna be the worst season of Drive to Survive.
Christian on it to Toto. Change your car just every episode.
That's like what I mean. If there's a season like Max winning all the time, they are going to have to make up some fake narratives.
We've got the McLaren narrative of tractor to P4.
Yeah, but that's one episode.
Yeah, true. I can stretch it to 2.
Max's dominance, one more episode.
Yeah.
Otmar leaving. That's a story.
Danny Rick.
They're going to have...
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick and Danny and Liam. That's only, 4 episodes out of 12? They're going to have to fake some now. Or whatever. I think
it's 10, isn't it?
10, 12, I don't know.
I think it's 10.
But they're going to have to fake some stuff because
it's going to be so good.
They rely a lot on what happens. They rely a lot on what happens during the season.
I'm going to make a prediction that one of the episodes is going to be about like a heated rivalry between the 2 Ferrari drivers. And that they don't actually like each other.
If they make an episode on Haas and call it Suck My Balls. Oh my god. Please.
I mean, they might because the new signing.
Yeah, there's always an episode on a Haas as well.
Haas, Alpine, because they both had new drivers.
Okay, let's face it. There's going to be an episode of Vegas.
Oh yeah,
that's just going to be an episode.
It was this year that Gasly went to Alpine and Hulkenberg came to Haas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's going to be probably a shared episode on those, being like, these 2 people don't like each other. They're teammates.
There'll be Alonso at the front of the grid as well.
But it's just going to be very much fake because they happen to fake a lot of it.
Well, they faked it when it was real, so...
Yeah,
God knows what they do now.
First season wasn't as bad. Well, for me anyway, because I didn't know what it was actually like in that season. The first 2 were okay for me, and season 3, because that was 2020, those 2 were okay for me because I didn't actually know what happened in them. But I don't know what it was like for you guys. But
it was slightly cringe, but I feel like it still had the novelty factor at first season.
Yeah.
Then it kind of wore off, and I was sort of picking holes in it. Like, that team radio doesn't belong there. That was from last year. And that's not even the right race. What are you doing? But like, you know, it's a Netflix production. It's not made for the diehards. It's made for the new fans.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for me, first 3 seasons were good because I didn't know what was wrong with them.
Yeah.
Well, 2020 kind of, but it was still a lot happened in COVID, Grosjean's crash, like a lot happened, so they didn't have to fake as much. But it was then they started bringing in all the fake and everything, and it's just got...
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know how many more seasons it's gonna get, but
yeah, no. I think because they do want to try and make it
last year or like this year.
I think I watched like the first episode and then
I watched it. It wasn't amazing. It was very much more of the same.
Yeah.
So
There's only so much you can do
when it's the same thing every year.
Yeah.
It's not a lot that changes in Formula One. That's the thing. Like, we had the regulation change year, and that was, oh, look, we've got new cars, what do you do?
And
now we don't.
COVID,
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
That'd be fun at this episode 1 of this year. We're going into a new year with Red Bull having a... Yeah, that'd be the first episode.
Red Bull dominance.
With, the lack of...
Oh, their testing.
Air tunnel. Yeah.
Because they got
penalised. The first thing out of Will Buxton's mouth. This year might be interesting because Red Bull can't upgrade their car as much as the others.
It was not. But yeah. Anyway, I think that about wraps us up for this week.
Yeah.
We've only got, 3 months until Drive to Survive comes out. Woo-hoo! We will be back at the same time next week for our Abu Dhabi review. And then we'll decide what we're going to do in the weeks beyond that.
There's the award show for one. But I feel like there might be a gap between Abu Dhabi review and the award show considering.
Yeah, well, we've got to make sure everyone's there.
It together yet.
We've got to make sure Chris can actually arrive and doesn't disappear off and do other things or whatever. Like driving. Weak performance.
Did you even say where he was?
I think he was like go-karting or something. He said racing.
I feel
unless he was just doing an indoor go-kart tracks,
you know.
I reckon he's part of an underground Scottish street racing.
Yeah, like Nia's in the underground Welsh rally circuit.
Yeah. He's in the underground Welsh rally championship.
So that's called night owl events.
See, she knows. She's in.
You night owl events, you don't need a proper rally car. Last time I marshalled it when someone was wearing a McLaren hoodie in the car.
Just gonna casually turn up with my 1.6 diesel CRDI and...
Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn up in my 1.2 litre Corsa.
Oh, you've got a 0.2? Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, you've got no weight in the car. Mine's probably weighs like almost twice as much as your car.
Exactly, faster.
Yeah. Right, anyway, we'll be back next week and at some point in the weeks after, and then maybe we'll have a Christmas break. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think
maybe.
Most likely.
I'm not going home over Christmas this year, so...
we could do a couple of Turn 5 lives then.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe something like that.
I mean, we'll obviously take Christmas and New Year's off because those fall on a Monday. I'm not recording on Christmas.
Happy Christmas. I wish I was with my family.
As lonely as I probably will be because I'm probably going to be spending Christmas alone, I'm not recording on Christmas.
Yeah, and New Year's, I will probably be hungover, so no.
Yeah, exactly.
But isn't New Year's Day on the Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll just
back and work on the Tuesday.
Same. Oh yeah, but mine's Tuesday night, so it's fine. I've got like a whole extra day before I have to.
For the entire time of Christmas, the only days I actually get off are Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day.
Unlucky.
No one has dentist appointments in those weeks.
Yeah.
So I get Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, but I will be working the night of Boxing Day. And then
that's not so bad.
I get New Year's Eve off and New Year's Day, but like I'm not contracted to work on a Monday, so I had them off anyway.
It's worked out because I don't work Saturday, Sundays. I get 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th off, and then 30th, 31st, and 1st off. Which is
I'm off from the 22nd to the 2nd of January. So I get the week.
Arsehole. Anyway, we'll be back same time next week for our review of what is likely to be the second
when
most
Lando
boring
wins
race.
his first race.
And you didn't predict it.
Come on. Oh,
It's going to happen now.
oh.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna be so
I
funny.
will be there for that though. I don't care.
All right.
I will love it.
Thank you for listening and or watching, and until next time, goodbye.